The global energy drink market generates over $80 billion in annual revenue. Let's explore how. Energy drinks are consumed by students, athletes, shift workers, and increasingly by teenagers. Most people who reach for an energy drink are looking for one thing: alertness. What's really inside energy drinks? The category grew from a niche product to an $80 billion market in about 30 years. Across all these contexts, the product is essentially the same formulation. Beyond caffeine, most energy drinks contain taurine, B vitamins, plant extracts, and sugar. The real question: what comes along with the caffeine catch-in? And what does research say about it? Emergency medicine literature has documented cardiovascular events linked to energy drink use. Energy drinks are not uniformly harmful, but most consumers don't know what's actually inside. Caffeine works by blocking adenosine receptors in the brain, delaying fatigue perception. Caffeine doesn't create energy. It temporarily masks fatigue by occupying adenosine receptors. Hi there, we're introducing a new feature where I can read this aloud in a natural, human-like voice. Caffeine has an average half-life of 5 to 6 hours. May still be active at midnight after an afternoon energy drink tanned for many people. Caffeine within 6 hours of bedtime reduces total sleep time and next-day alertness. Regular caffeine use increases adenosine receptor density over time. Your brain compensates by adding more receptors. This requires more caffeine to achieve the same alertness effect, DARE, a tolerance mechanism. The WHO's International Classification of Diseases includes caffeine dependence as diagnosable. Standard 250 mml energy drink contains roughly 100 milligrams of caffeine. But 500 ml cans can contain 160 to 300 milligrams AMs in a single container. Many large format cans are labeled as 2 servings of HAL, but most people consume the entire can. Guarana adds caffeine, not always separately declared pod. Each gram contains 80 milligrams. Consumers counting only declared caffeine may underestimate their actual total intake. At 200-300 milligrams, research documents increased heart rate, blood pressure, and anxiety risk. Alertness benefits plateau at moderate doses. Higher doses add risk without proportional benefit. The American Academy of Pediatrics states caffeinated energy drinks are not appropriate for adolescents. With caffeine established, we turn to taurine, the largest ingredient by mass in most formulas. Hi there! We're introducing a new feature where I can read this aloud in a natural, human-like voice. Taurine is naturally produced by the body and found in meat and fish. Most healthy adults do not have a taurine deficiency. Whether supplemental taurine in energy drinks has meaningful effects is not clearly resolved. A 2021 European Journal of Nutrition systematic review found limited evidence for taurine alone. Whether caffeine-taurine combinations differ from caffeine alone in cardiovascular effects is inconclusive. The multi-ingredient formulation makes it difficult to attribute effects to any single compound. Most energy drinks contain B vitamins at levels 100 to 5,000% of the daily recommended value. B vitamins are genuine coenzymes in cellular energy metabolism, a legitimate scientific basis. In well-nourished individuals, excess B vitamins are excreted in urine. They do not increase energy metabolism above baseline levels in healthy people. Supports energy metabolism is technically accurate, but it doesn't mean more energy is produced. A 2010 Cochrane review found no convincing evidence of cognitive improvement from Panax ginseng. Ginseng at the doses in energy drinks may function more as marketing than pharmacology. Energy drink ginseng doses are often far below the 200-400 milligrams used in studies. REF 12. Doses used in energy drinks are substantially lower than those in research showing any effect. Hi there! Green tea extract adds both caffeine and EGCG said, contributing to total caffeine load. Inositol at energy drink concentrations is unlikely to produce a meaningful pharmacological effect. EFSA's 2015 assessment concluded caffeine is the primary active compound in energy drinks. Two dimensions remain: the sugar content of standard versions and sugar-free sweetener systems. A standard 250 ml energy drink typically contains 25 to 30 grams of added sugar. A 500 ml can may contain 50 to 60 grams of sugar, HOR, meeting the WHO daily limit. Caffeine elevates cortisol and blood pressure, while the sugar load elevates insulin simultaneously. This dual physiological response is documented in acute effects research. A 2017 Journal of the American Heart Association trial found greater blood pressure increases. Hi there! We're introducing a new feature where I can read this aloud, in a natural, human-like voice. Sucralose was considered metabolically inert for decades. Recent research has raised questions about possible gut microbiome effects. A 2022 Cell study found sucralose and saccharin altered microbiome and glycemic responses. Current regulatory status: sucralose is approved as safe. Microbiome research continues. A 2021 Cell metabolism study found a acesulfame potassium altered gut microbiome in mice. The sweetener concerns are not unique to energy drinks, but concurrent caffeine adds complexity. Energy drinks are substantially acidic, Rho, pH typically between 2.9 and 3.4. A systematic review found energy drinks represent a significant risk factor for enamel erosion. Prolonged sipping, common while studying or gaming, maximizes acid contact with teeth. With the ingredient picture established, we turn to cardiovascular research. Emergency medicine literature documents cardiac arrhythmia and hypertensive crisis cases. I-dose caffeine above 400 to 600 milligrams can prolong the QT interval in some individuals. A prolonged QT interval is associated with increased arrhythmia risk in susceptible individuals. Young athletes with undetected structural cardiac conditions face elevated risk from high doses. A 2019 Journal of the American Heart Association study found meaningful blood pressure increases. The study enrolled 34 healthy volunteers aged 18 to 40 in a randomized controlled design. Subjects consumed 32 ounces. Some more recent studies suggest greater cardiovascular effects than caffeine dose alone predicts. Caffeine masks some subjective effects of alcohol without affecting blood alcohol concentration. Research confirms caffeine does not reduce blood alcohol, BK. It only reduces how drunk someone feels. A systematic review linked energy drink and alcohol co-consumption to higher alcohol intake. In 2010, the FDA required removal of caffeine from pre-mixed alcoholic energy drinks. Global regulation is a patchwork, from no restrictions to full age bans in many countries. The UK government proposed banning high-caffeine energy drink sales to under-16s in 2025. The proposal followed surveys showing high adolescent consumption and reported health symptoms. Research found high proportions of European adolescents regularly consuming energy drinks. Hi there, we're introducing a new feature where I can read this aloud in a natural, human-like voice. For parents, high caffeine and adolescent-targeted marketing warrants limiting access. Occasional adult consumption occupies a very different risk profile than daily adolescent use. Meaningful risk is concentrated in adolescence, cardiac conditions, alcohol co-use, and daily high volume. Energy drink marketing almost entirely avoids health positioning in favor of performance identity. The category built its identity through extreme sports, the TAN, targeting the highest sensitivity demographic. The 15 to 25 age group is the primary consumer demographic worldwide. This is also the demographic with the most significant caffeine sensitivity concerns. Energy drink brands have invested heavily in esports fervor, whose audience skews 13 to 25 years old. A regulatory gap exists. Direct-to-child advertising is often restricted, but sponsorship is not. Research finds energy drink sponsorship exposure to adolescents rivals direct advertising reach. Sponsorship creates positive associations that lower barriers to trial in adolescence. We move from sponsorship to brand awareness. Caffeine habits formed during adolescence may be particularly durable. The adolescent brain shows heightened sensitivity to reward system substances like caffeine. Perceived peer norms is one of the strongest predictors of adolescent energy drink initiation. Animation of social norms marketing findings. Perceived prevalence amplifies consumption. Perceived peer prevalence is a stronger predictor of energy drink social media marketing focuses on performance identity to bypass health regulations. Sponsorship and influencer marketing represent the majority of energy drink marketing investment. Studies consistently find self-regulation reduces child marketing exposure less than mandatory law. The evidence points to mandatory approaches being more effective than voluntary ones. The 4 variables that determine risk: how often, how much, with what else, and at what age. Plain coffee or tea at equivalent doses achieves the same effect without added ingredient complexity. Practical point 1. Coffee or tea achieves the same caffeine effect without added sugar, dental acidity, or ingredient complexity. Animation comparing ingredient lists. Black coffee, 2 ingredients. Energy drink, 12 to 20. Coffee pack. The additional energy drink ingredients add complexity without clear benefit for most people. Sports nutrition research supports 3 to 6 milligrams of caffeine per kilogram of body weight. Taken 30 to 60 minutes before exercise, prime. Achievable with coffee or black tea. Energy drinks deliver caffeine at 5 to 15 times the cost per milligram of home-brewed coffee. Think of the savings. Practical point 2. Avoid caffeine within 6 hours of sleep. Afternoon energy drinks may perpetuate the fatigue they are meant to address. Here's how the cycle works. If poor sleep is causing more fatigue down, cutting afternoon caffeine breaks the cycle. Practical point 3. Energy drinks do not hydrate effectively. Caffeine is a mild diuretic. Water intake remains important alongside any energy drink. For exercise especially, Additional water intake is important when consuming energy drinks. Practical point 4. Rinse with water immediately after consuming an energy drink. Do not brush for at least 30 minutes afterward. 10. Brushing softened enamel increases damage. Rinse, wait, use straw, avoid prolonged sipping. Prolonged sipping is the highest risk dental behavior. Minimize acid contact time. Practical point 5. Energy drinks should be avoided by anyone under 16. Also avoided by pregnant women, people with cardiac conditions, and those on interacting medications. Those on stimulant medications, certain antibiotics, or thyroid medications should consult a physician. Practical point 6. If reducing consumption, a gradual step down minimizes withdrawal symptoms. Reduce by 25 to 50 milligrams per day over 1 to 2 weeks. Maintain hydration during this period. Replacing energy drinks with cold brew coffee or green tea is more effective than elimination alone. The choice point is typically a few seconds. A pre-made decision rule beats in-the-moment willpower. Summary. Occasional adult consumption in healthy individuals is considered low risk. Daily adolescent use, combination with alcohol, and cardiac conditions are the higher risk contexts. 5 actions. Prefer coffee or tea. Stop caffeine early. Stay hydrated. Rinse teeth. Know your risk group. Taurine is not clearly effective at energy drink doses. But there's more to consider. B vitamins at 5,000% daily value do not increase energy production in healthy people. Sugar equivalent to a chocolate bar. Acidity comparable to citrus fruit juice. The energy drink story. A product that grew faster than the science that preceded its market entry. Energy drinks are not uniquely dangerous, but not as beneficial as marketing promises. What's really inside? Primarily caffeine at coffee-equivalent doses, with marketing-driven extras. And one of the most sophisticated adolescent targeting marketing systems in the world. Armed with this information, the choice of whether and how frequently to consume becomes informed. Subscribe to Grocery Science for one evidence-based food investigation per week. Next episode, what is really inside processed cheese? What you drink regularly is a meaningful part of your nutritional intake. Sometimes the most informed choice is also the simplest one. Know what you eat. Know what you drink. Food uncovered. A small decision, informed by understanding. That is what this investigation is for. Thank you for watching Grocery Science. See you next week. The research exists. The information is available. Only knowing where to look stands in the way. Sometimes the best solution is the one that has been there all along. Each investigation examines one commonly consumed food built on verifiable, peer-reviewed research. Information changes behavior when it is made accessible, understandable, and relevant. The choice is always yours, but it should be an informed one. Grocery Science. Know what you eat. New episode every week. A better day starts with better choices. Better choices start with better information. Every Grocery Science investigation is built on the best available peer-reviewed evidence. The peer-reviewed process, despite its imperfections, is the best tool for reliable evidence. Behind every study cited is a researcher who designed it with the intention of understanding the world. The goal of this series is not to make food scary. It is to make food understood. Hundreds of millions of people will drink an energy drink this week. Most of them now know a little more about what they are consuming. All primary research cited is listed and verifiable at fooduncovered.com. Grocery science. Know what you eat. Stay curious. Stay informed. Simple things, understood well tang. That is where better choices begin. Performance requires sleep, training, and whole food nutrition as its foundation. Energy drinks are a supplement to that foundation. Not a replacement for it. Where the market goes next depends partly on what consumers understand about the product. Information is a market force. Informed consumers shape industry behavior. The earlier informed habits form, the more impact they have. 5 Actions Pod. Apply consistently and adjust as the evidence continues to evolve. Thank you for watching this investigation. See you next week. Grocery Science publishes one in-depth food investigation per week. It is all there on the label. Now you know how to read it. Understanding how something works is the foundation for using it wisely. For most healthy adults, a standard energy drink does not disrupt cardiac rhythm. For those with underlying cardiac conditions, the risk picture is meaningfully different. Grocery Science. Know what you eat. Thank you.